Hey guys, Cold here. Welcome back to another raid video. Thor, the Fae Hammer, will be coming into raid with a fusion starting in September, and I cannot wait. I cannot honestly wait because this champion seems to be very good in terms of damage potential. I've had a look at his kit beforehand, and I'm quite sure that you guys will be approving this one. All right, we're gonna have a look at his skills today for the video. I'm gonna talk through and see what his potential might be. I think he's gonna be a great damage dealer overall. Great Hydra damage dealer as well because of the kit. It has a very unique passive, very unique passive. I don't think I've seen that before in other champions where well, let's go and have a look. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Let's get started. Thor the Fae Hammer, here he is. It's gonna be an attack based legendary for the barbarians, part of the Asgard divide, and he'll be part of the fusion that is coming in very soon. This fusion will be one where you need to fuse epics in order to make him, and those epics you get fragments for through the different events and tournaments in the game. So A1 Wrath of Mjolnir attacks one enemy 2 times, 20% chance to repeat the attack, similar to other champions. This one, each hit decreases the target's turn meter by 10%. That's actually pretty cool, and also repeating the attack can also decrease that turn meter. So I'm all in for this one. A2 Fulminous Ricochet attacks all enemies. After hitting the first enemy, will hit every other enemy in a random order. Following the initial hit, each subsequent hit increases damage inflicted by 25%. So he's hitting target number 1 for 100% of damage, which is normal. Then the other one will receive 125%. Then the other one 150, 175. And the last one will take 200% of the normal damage. So it's not exactly an AoE. It's a single target attack, which I'm also wondering on how strong this is going to be in terms of the multiplier. Can't wait to check that one out. But he'll also ignore block damage and unkillable. And this effect does not work against bosses, so it doesn't work against the Odin boss for the event dungeon, apparently. Hammer of Heaven, that's his A3. Okay, this one's the one that actually makes him quite interesting to me, guys, because of what he can do to the enemy resistance. Okay, so what does that mean? Attacks all enemies before attacking, boosts himself up with increased attack, increased crit damage. Very nice, very good. We need that. But then also permanently decreases resistance for each enemy by 10%. Stacks up to 50%. That is huge for the Hydra, for all players out there, basically allowing you to jump into even Nightmare with this champion as part of the team, where if you can get the team to survive for the duration of 3 times 5, so 15 turns or so for Thor, that will allow him to rotate through Hammer of Heaven, his skill, and allow him to repeat that attack the amount of times you need to reduce resistance by 50%. And that is perfect for applying your debuffs. Will you need a significant amount of accuracy still with this champion? I would say so, because the resistance that you're reducing, I don't think it's permanent on the heads. If I remember correctly, in the Hydra, you still need to attack them again after a while. So I'm not sure exactly on how useful this is going to be for the duration of the run, but it's definitely going to be useful for just allowing you to not need 400 accuracy. As an example, for the Hydra, you can run with 300 and you should be okay. And 300 is much easier to get rather than 400 accuracy. You might even skip the accuracy banner for some champions, depending on what other maybe accessories you have, maybe the new ones and all that. So Sky Rupture, that's his passive. That's where the big selling point is. Every time this champion deals damage, increases the thunder counter by 1. Stacks up to 10. So think of this as the Head of Wrath on the Hydra. So when this thunder stack increases, this champion's damage increases by 3%, so 30% boost in damage. But then once the thunder counter reaches 10, attacks all enemies and places a stun debuff for 1 turn. So this is based on his own attacks, meaning, from my understanding, is that AoE attacks also count for this one. So hitting 4 enemies will count for 4 thunder stacks, 4 thunder counters. Okay, so if you hit 10 enemies, that is going to be a double hitting attack. This can be potentially huge for building a spider hard mode team for well, with Thor. So that's going to be huge. Building a team for the Hydra, you're hitting 4 enemies at a time, so that helps to get this counter going, and getting that to 10 will be huge because you get that big burst of damage. I just hope that this damage is actually impactful and actually does something similar to his A2 or A3, and not so like being just a random AoE attack that just stuns. Okay, stun is good, but it won't work on bosses. So what's the reason for that? If the damage is not enough, and if the thunder counter also gets reset so quickly that you don't really see the effect of his damage boost. So an aura he also has for ally attack in all battles by 30%. I do like that, but I do think for the most part you won't be using him in the leader slot. For most content you're going to be using something else, such as a resistance aura, accuracy aura, speed aura, for the most part for most content. So ally attack in all battles is nice, but it's not something we really use unless we specifically know what we're doing in terms of the builds and everything. So for most players out there, an accuracy aura or a resistance aura is going to be more impactful for things such as the Hydra. So Thor, gonna be fantastic when this one starts out. It will be starting, as I said, in September. Did we get the exact date for this one? I don't think we did get it, but I think it's gonna be starting on a usual Thursday. So that's probably gonna be the 5th of September. And by that time, I think we all should have enough resources saved up. We do have, though, a big 15x going on right now. We're probably gonna also have, might even have it during the Thor fusion. We might also have an event for the other Asgardian champion, Freya. Okay, she's gonna be part of the deck of fates kind of thing, where you need to summon to get her guaranteed. So far we all have Loki. Odin is gonna be very difficult to acquire. Thor is gonna be part of this fusion, and then Freya. Hopefully we should all be able to pick her up if we do have the amount of shards required. I honestly hope they don't put these together, but at least if they do, maybe Freya's summoning also helps to pick up some points for Thor. I would say personally, if you have a choice between the two, Thor could be more impactful in terms of damage potential, but if you're looking for like a big support, then Freya would be the one to go for. But again, with the amount of time we had since the last fusion, I think we all have some resources saved up for at least to guarantee getting Thor. With Freya, that's 20 sacreds worth of just summon. So we don't know the other part of the deck of fate. So it's probably going to be something like champion training plus summons. So champion training is going to be very difficult if you compare it to summons. If it's dungeon divers, it could also be very difficult to pick her up. But I think Thor, so far his kit looks very interesting, very promising. I just want to see his multipliers. I'll be testing him very soon over on the test server to see on how he does in terms of damage potential, and hopefully I'm gonna be pleasantly surprised with that one. This was the video, guys, on Thor. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.